Hey guys, it's takasta here. Welcome to another video review. So I haven't been doing reviews for a long time because I've been really busy with exams, but I'm done now and I've got for you today the Roccat Savu new gaming mice. So this is quite a new mouse that Roccat has come out with. In case all of you don't know, Roccat is a German company that makes a lot of game peripherals, but they're obviously not as big as like Razer or SteelSeries, but this is their new mid-sized hybrid gaming mouse apparently. Whatever the hell that means. But okay, so first off, this is going to be quite a long video, so I'm going to split this video into first a review of it, and second of all, I'm going to be posting some test videos of it in-game, and also testing its acceleration, its ankle snapping, etc., stuff like that. So first off, this mouse costs about $60 US or 65 depending where you are, or maybe 55. So for a mouse, it's so in Hong Kong dollars, that's $450 or $460. In comparison, you could get a Kana for the exact same price. So, is this worth the Kana in terms of price? Well, I'm going to tell you after I finish this review. So, the dimensions of this mouse, it's 7.2 centimeters by 12 centimeters by 4 centimeters. So, 7.2 centimeters width, 12 centimeters in length, and 4 centimeters in height. So, in terms of its size, it's actually quite small. It's medium size. It's not exactly big. So if I compare it with the Sensei, you can see right here, the Sensei is slightly longer in length, and this is, you can see it's just slightly smaller. And I could just use like a Death Adder as a comparison. Death Adder is, in terms of its length, is quite similar. In terms of its width, slightly smaller. And yeah, that's basically the dimensions of it. So it's not exactly a big mouse. It's not exactly a small one either. So it is exactly what it says. It's quite a mid-sized mouse. So this mouse is also 90 grams. So what does that mean? 90 grams is very, very light. As compared to the Sensei, I don't know if you watched my previous videos, Sensei weighs about 105 from memory, or 115, I can't remember, but it's decently heavy. This is quite 90 grams is quite light. Like the Kinzu V2 is 70 something grams or something. So when you use it, it's very light on the hand. So you can kind of flick it really easily, whether it be FPS or RTS. So that's great if you want a light mouse. If you want a light mouse, this would be quite a good option. So I'm going to talk about its shape because shape is very important. The shape is very resemblant of other Roccat mice, such as the Cone, the Kova, etc. It's just they really have their own style. So basically, if you can see, the backing arch is on the back. Very similar to the Sensei, if you can see right here, the top part of it. But it's slightly higher arched. The Sensei is slightly flatter, if you can see. This one, it's quite resemblant of Logitech, but the arch is on the back and kind of smooths back into the front. Also, if you can see in the side here, on the right hand side, you got a slight space for your fourth finger. This is an ergonomic mouse, by the way. Slight space for your fourth finger to slide in. And on the left hand side, you got some space for your thumb. So this is just very resemblant of Roccat mice. If you remember the Cone or the Kova, all of them like using this type of feel, like type of build to their mice. In terms of its performance, or how you hold it in your hand when you play, so I'm going to talk about really just FPS and RTS. I find this mouse really much better for FPS. Why? Because you can't really claw grip it that well. Or you can kind of claw grip it like this, but it just feels really uncomfortable because it's really built ergonomically because of the side button on the left and on the right. So if you try to claw grip it like you do for the Sensei and play RTS with it, it just doesn't really feel right. Even though you can do it, just doesn't really feel right. However, for FPS, you can, if you choose to palm grip it like this, if you have smaller hands, you choose to palm grip it, and it actually feels quite nice. If it really, because you don't really, for FPS, you don't have to flick your mouse as much, or you just kind of like move like this, and it's quite comfortable. I played some Quake Live. I'll do some demo videos later. It's really comfortable. So I really like it for FPS, but for RTS, not so much. For MMO gaming, not so much as well, even though I'll go on to talk about the macro and stuff like that, but good for FPS. Build quality. Build quality, Roccat standard. So if you've ever used Roccat mice, it's very, very resemblant of Roccat mouse. So you got like the smooth surface right here. I think it's very akin to that of a Death Adder, slightly smoother. It's very similar to the Cone and the Kova. But one thing you have to notice that is that they did implement this non-slip grip that no other company has really implemented. I think it's only in Roccat. So if you look at the Sensei here, this is like supposedly non-slip grip. It's quite non-slip. Quite non-slip, but it's still like smooth in a sense. This is really non-slip because it's actually grainy. You put your hand on it, I was surprised. It was actually grainy. You cannot. You can just sweat all you want and it's not gonna come off. It's just really, really a nice grip. Some people might like it. Some people might like this. Some people might not. So it's really up to you. So as for build quality, you have the back here. Quite nice, I guess. Nothing much to talk about the back, but just overall, just quite decent build quality. I prefer this build quality Steel Series. But moving on. So they also come with Teflon mice. Teflon mouse feet. Just quite decent. Nothing much to say about it. You can probably buy new mouse feet just to replace it, obviously. Works quite well with hard, the stock ones work really, really well with hard mouse pad. With cloth mouse pad works quite decent. It works quite decent on all of them. So Roccat did a good job in implementing some good feet. So now on to the software. So the software, there's just too much to talk about. Obviously, the DPI ranges from 150 to, sorry, not 150, ranges from 400, 800, 1,600 to 4,000. So, so there's quite a lot of DPI choices for you to choose. However, as I mentioned before, like DPI isn't everything. To be honest, 800 or 1,600 is already enough. There's macros. There's a macro program is quite good actually. There's something called Easy Shift. So Easy Shift is basically you can press one button and hold it, and you can press other buttons, and they basically turn it into different macros. So for example, this is the first click, second click, you hold it, and then you press this. It could be like page up or page down or switch weapon, or it's a macro function that changes all the buttons on here. In terms of buttons, there's not that many. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? This is not a button. I don't understand what the hell this is, but there's only 5 buttons, so it helps with your macros a little bit if you're a macro kind of guy. I'm not. I just like straight up gaming. So next off, we have the color schemes. This is kind of cool. I guess you are paying $60 for this. I wouldn't really buy it for the color scheme, but it's kind of a nice addition, or not nice if you don't want color scheme. So you can set it. It has a 60 million pixel on bit color resolution, so you can change it into any color you want. And if you leave it on stock, it will basically keep on glowing. I don't know if you can see it. It will keep on glowing a different color from blue, red, brown, orange, yellow, green, whatever. It just keep on glowing, pulsating, basically, kind of like the Death Adder. You can also set it to only show one color, and you can set it to not to pulsate as well, so that's really up to you. Next off, polling rate, really standard, 125 Hertz, 250, 500, 1,000. I'm going to be doing some test videos afterwards. That's that. And one thing they introduced is an achievement system, which I don't understand. Why would you introduce an achievement system into a frickin' mouse? Like, if you use it more, you get achievements. Like, I really don't get it. I think it's a load of crap. It's a load of marketing, which I'm never going to use. Even though if I get it, whatever. I don't care, basically. So, last but not least, the sensor. So, I talked about it's pretty good for FPS, pretty good for RTS. The sensor is basically ADNS Avogo ADNS A3090. So, it's an optical sensor. It's an optical sensor. It's the same one used by the CM Spawn, the Zoe AM as well. And it's really, really good. It's just extremely smooth glide. However, the liftoff distance is quite high, so they did not remove it in the Roccat software, right? But the glide is just extremely smooth. It tracks extremely well. It's one of the better sensors out in the market at the moment. that to use for gaming. Like I'll be doing some tests on its acceleration, its max speed, etc. But I played inside Quake, inside whatever. Like it's just extremely smooth. I just absolutely love it. It's one of the better sensors out on the market right now. If you use the Zoe AM, you know it's really good. And that really concludes my review of the Roccat Savu. In essence, a little bit expensive. You are paying $60, $65 for this, but you do get your load of functions, your macros, a good sensor, very good build quality. However, the shape is kind of weird in a sense. It's not straight up like a SteelSeries Sensei, right? But it is what it is. If you use it, you would get used to it. I might keep it, I might not. So this is really it. So thanks for watching my review of the Roccat Savu. If you're interested in buying mouse feet, just go to my website at itechtic.com, or you can just go to my eBay site to buy some. So thanks, guys.